Hey everyone! Hello, hello! It's Tuesday. Hello everyone!
Hey boy.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Whoever you are, welcome to the show!
Hello fellas, it's me, your navigator. Maxi, pronouns are they them. Hello everyone! Hi Dale, hi Siska, hi Cade, and hi, Desi. Desi, hi Desi. Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to a creative stream. Please enjoy the new background song in the background. Chemical Plant Funk by Jema Hagen, I believe. I'm excited. I had a crazy weekend. I took one day off, as I like to do, and the last like 2 hours have been rather exciting. But other than that, I am the most excited today to sit down and just do some writing, fellas. How y'all doing today? Yo, Dale, what game is that? Now, can I even remember what happened yesterday? Okay, no, yesterday I mostly rested, then I got a bunch of work done. Oh, Drive Club, okay. The one thing that I like to do at the start of the month is to get all my memories. I like to record my memories at the end of every day. And I was gathering all my memories, I was gathering all the things that I got done, and I made a little report. I like to do that at the start of the month. You will notice it's not the start of the month. So I'm a little bit late, but that's okay. Not as late as not as late as freaking last month. Whoa. But you know, I'm excited. Oh, this song does not loop as seamlessly as one would like, but that's okay. The start is real killer though. So good, so good. I've been hyping myself up to this song. Nonetheless, so I'm excited. My goal is to get this book out literally this month. My lovely editor says that they are ready to get it whenever. We are currently in episode 4 out of 6 episodes, and so far the book is in much better condition than I expected. Let's just call a spade, okay? I am the kind of writer, I know my writing, okay? And normally it takes me 2 or 3 passes for a book to be ready. I'm not saying this because this is a stream book, a book that I wrote on stream. But straight up, I'm just gonna be honest, the book is in much better condition than I expected. There aren't any glaring plot holes I have to fix. There is only one, so far in the whole book, there is one section I want to go back and reread. And that's the gaming mysteries, MatPat style section in the book. I want to go back and reread through that one more time, because the last time I read it, I wasn't happy with it. But other than that, fellas, we're on the road. We're on the road. We're on the path. So that's the rub right there. Other than that, so here's the plan. I am going to finish editing this book. I'm gonna do all the finishing touches. I'm gonna send it to my editor. And while my editor is taking care of that, I am going to work on the cover and the layout of the book. And again, as I mentioned, the plan is to get this book out this month. Now, it seems like that's really tight. And that's because it is. But I feel like we can make it work. I work better under pressure. Under pressure, boom, doom, 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 pa. Yeah, you get it, you know it. You're here for it, and guess what? It's 11 a.m. in sunny California. Guess what? The pre-show is over. Let's get going, fellas. At the count of 3, 2, 1. Boop. Hello, everyone. It's me, Maxi. Hello. I am your navigator. My name is Maxi. My pronouns are they, them. Hello.
Welcome back.
Whoever you are, welcome to the show!
And let me put on spooky music in the background because this is a spooky novel. That feels a little bit loud. That's better. So for anyone out there who's like, Maxi, what's the background music, Maxi? It is a selection from the Cultist Simulator video game soundtrack. So big apologies to Cade, who's gonna be like, holy crap, am I playing Cultist Simulator right now? This is the music I actually listened to while working on the book and while doing the first pass of editing. It's good. I had to like clean through the tracks because some of them are a little bit too active for me while I'm writing, but you know, the ones I have here are really good. Ah, damn it, I've been waiting to get Bear and Breakfast. Let me write it down on my little notebook. Bear and Breakfast is free on Epic. Perfect. Maxi, don't make a self-demeaning comment. Oh, yes, yet another game I won't be able to play forever. Epic freebie get. There you go. Kate says, I love management sims, but that's unsurprising by how much I love Darkest Dungeon and Cultist Sim. It's so true. It's so true. Alright, so in case you don't know how we do things on stream, we do like to... Oh, actually, I have an announcement! I have an announcement. Everybody shut up. Everybody shut up. Stop the music. Thank you. Thank you. So, earlier this morning, in case you don't know, the #1 place to support me in what I do is coffee.com/mkirin. And in case you don't know, it's up here, by the way. If you look in the top left of the screen, that's the #1 way to support me. Donations get read out loud on stream. So this morning, Coffee revealed their new look, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited. The new look for Coffee. And you know what? You know, it looks really, again, I love the colors. They changed the shape of the cup, and I'm like, dude, it's so good. And I don't believe it would be in bad form for me to tell you. So I actually had 2 interviews with the people at Coffee to help them. They reached out to like 20,000 people, and I'm one of those people. And I'm telling you right now, they listened to feedback, because I had one big piece of feedback. And I'm really happy they listened. So, you know, yeah, again, big shout outs to Coffee. So I'm reading the post, right, and I'm like, oh, we're excited to share that Coffee's in the middle of a refresh. You know, they changed their logo. It's a little espresso cup. It's so round and cute. I love it. And I'm reading, and I'm like, oh, they have a quote. Wow, that's a really like cool thing. That's I wonder who said. So, Coffee quoted me on the reveal. Coffee's the one platform that hasn't let me down in 9 years, and that's true, by the way. I had 2 conversations with the people at Coffee, and one of the big points that I wanted to say that why I love Coffee is because in the last 9 years I've gone through so many different platforms, and every time I'm like, please, like, I would wake up in the morning and be like, please, for the love of God, Patreon, don't poop your pants this morning. And Patreon would poop their pants every morning. I'm very touched that they would actually, you know, they would put me in their announcement. I really appreciate that. That's really touching, you know. So big shout outs. Big shout outs to Coffee for listening to their audience. Anyway, so you know the things that, you know, Coffee's looking good. There's a new logo now. The new coffee mug. It it's a little espresso cup. It's so much more rounder. Everything looks great. You know, the new logo is very playful. I love the color scheme. It's great. You know, they even have the color codes. Like this look at this Nomia ass. Like like Nomia Victory, friend of the channel, knows the hex codes for all their colors, and I'm like, okay, nerd. But I do appreciate, you know, I love that the black isn't pure black. I actually really appreciate that. I'm a big fan of off black. You know, and like they have like little mascots now for the onboarding, and I really like that. I really like that. And I'm like, oh, dude, yeah, what creators have said so far. No, I'm in there again. There is 4 quotes. There is 4 quotes on this page, and I'm 2 of them. So I did say it still has the spirit of coffee, but more refined, like the second draft of a novel. That's right. Can you tell which of us is the goddamn writer in the room? Can you tell who's the goddamn writer in the room, by the way? It's me. It's me. I'm the writer in the room, by the way. So yeah, big shoutouts to Coffee for featuring me not 1 but twice on their... You're real popular on Coffee. Listen now. I have to say, you know, they reached out to 20,000 people. They reached out to a bunch of people. I get, you know, for this post, you know, they were happy, you know, they enjoyed what I said, and I'm happy they reached out to me. Now, this reminds me, I have to add 2 quotes, by the way. I've been reminded that we need to add 2 quotes. While we were hanging out with Blakesworth this weekend, Blake said, if Gotham had boba, there wouldn't be any crime. That is true. And Plague also said, wanna know how I got this boba, the Jorker? And also, literally yesterday, Blake just texts me the greatest fucking things of all time, okay? My wife is like, oh no, Maxi, the cat shelter has cats for $31 a pop, Maxi, maybe we should get another cat. And this is what Blakesworth replies, this is Blakesworth's reply in group chat, okay? Could you imagine you get a new cat, but it's a gamer? Can you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if your cat was a gamer? Anyways, enough catching up to... Oh yeah, Siska says they have a quote. Perfect. Siska, feel free to quote it. Okay, actually, stop the music one more time. I promise we're gonna start, like, working on the writing in a moment, okay? But first I want to say, mods, you're allowed to quote yourselves, okay? Mods, if you say something funny and I say quote that, you're allowed to quote that even if it's a thing you said yourselves. I know we were arguing about this the other day. You're allowed to quote yourselves if it's hilarious, okay? Don't rob the people's ability to enjoy your hilarity, okay? Anyways, it's time for me to get on with the writing. See, that's true. That's true. Actually, honestly, that segment was meant to for Siska and Kendra, who won't quote themselves because they have things such as integrity. Weird. I wonder what that's like. Anyways, let me take a sip of my coffee and then we'll dive right in. Alright, so welcome to Editing with yours truly. Once again, the name is Maxi, my pronouns are they, them. That is true. Oh, god damn it. Oh, did you see that yesterday? Siska, did you see that quote? Oh my god. I believe that the quote was, guys, I don't think this Joker guy is gonna be telling any jokes, but that's still pretty good. Weird, why isn't this Joker guy telling any jokes? That's pretty good. Honestly, pretty good. Also, Kate said earlier, quoting Kendra, good friend Kendra, mod of the chat, Kendra Purpleface PhD, that's their full name, by the way. I have a code, but also Kendra 2 seconds later, just 2 seconds later, let's talk about Mormon sex habits. Yep. That's Kendra! Anyways, this has been a very silly start. Listening to the VOD, nothing wrong with that. I like to listen to my friends' VODs. You can allow me whatever, I'm still not gonna do it. Okay, it's fine. I'll just make it an order. I'll just be like, Siska, please, quote that, please. Back to chores, bye. Yeah, back to writing, bye. So, fellas, love you, Siska. I am editing my book. Don't mind the spooky music in the background. I'm halfway through editing my next novel. It is titled Memory Leak. It is a psychological horror novel. There is no gore, so if you're spooky about gore, don't worry about that. You won't get spooky today. It's a psychological horror novel about a throuple, a polycule of independent video game developers. And they may or may not be haunted by their success. That's all I gotta say. And with that, we're diving right in. I believe the only section in the book that I can't read on YouTube is past, and I got over that bump by just humming to myself for like 3 minutes, but I think we should be good now to move on. So let me clear my throat. And so, Episode 4, Act 1, Scene 1. In a dark room, there is only a television screen. The glass is scratched, but the glow is strong. You stare deeply into the light, causing an influx of data to flow from behind the screen directly into your mind. The edges of the display become the edges of your vision. The boundaries of that CRT. You know what? We'll just say CRT. We got stuck on this last week. The boundaries of that CRT become the edges of your consciousness. Have I said the word boundaries? I did say the word boundaries. I said another synonym for edges. Ooh, the confines. Oh, I like that. The confines of your consciousness. As you stare into the blinding light, you see disconnected boxes of text and sound. You hear a voice inside you, a voice that is not yours. A voice that belongs to a stranger. Someone else staring into the blindness. Someone suffering in silence. Someone who loves these games. Someone just like you. One of these boxes is dark gray. The text is a mix of light blue and gray. There's a collection of numbers along the top, saying something about this comment's ranking. There's a collection of numbers along the top, as though implying a collection of numbers along the top. I want to say that it's supposed to represent how important this comment is on this site. There's a collection of numbers along the top of the message. Ooh, highlighting it, making it stand out from the rest. This here is the highest ranked comment. One of the numbers. One of the numbers states that whoever wrote this spent hundreds of hours playing this one game. Thousands of thumbs up, indicating that countless people agreed with their opinion. And yet, amidst so many metrics telling you the importance of the context in this box, the words inside are brief, cutting, and to the point. 5 stars, do not play. Let me walk through that again, okay? One of these boxes is dark gray. The text is a mix of light blue. One of these boxes is dark gray. The text is light blue. Let's just. I don't like the repetition of gray. The text is light blue. You see, so this is an issue that comes up with writing all the time. The focus of the sentence should be at the beginning of the sentence. Along the top of the box is a collection of numbers and icons, as though medals won in war. These symbols indicate that this, of all the boxes on this pile, is the one most worthy of you reading it. A mere glance at the numbers reveals hundreds of hours spent playing this one game. One game, and ooh, countless thumbs up from people who agree with the words contained therein. There you go. I rearranged this. And yet, amidst so many metrics telling you the importance of the contents in this box, the words inside are brief. They are cutting and to the point. 5 stars, do not play. The gray box flies away, lost in the background of the blinding light, as though a seagull disappearing into the setting sun. Then comes another. At first you don't see the box of text, for its background is as white as the light. The text on it is stark and black. Yet again, there are arrows pointing up and down. There are more arrows up, pointing up than the alternative. Once again, the countless people who agreed with these words. Once again, countless people have voted and chosen this brief message, as the most outstanding of them all. I 100%ed this game. I am now seeing a therapist. Something about these words sting your heart. Is that nostalgia you feel? Is that sympathy? Oh, how easily we hurt ourselves when we see others in pain. How easily we recognize the people sick just like we are sick. One does not need to turn towards a mirror to find the truth. We often see it reflected on the eyes of others. More words fly by, the same white background, the same black text. I don't think we need the line break here. I don't know how same people could make this game. More messages fly by. You know what? I'm gonna do this. There you go. This I like the visual symmetry here. The argument grows heated within a matter of milliseconds. The argument grows heated within a matter of milliseconds. More messages fly by. These in response to the others, the previous ones. Quickly, the argument grows heated in a matter. I'm okay with milliseconds. I'm okay with milliseconds. People from all corners of the internet begin arguing, begin ripping each other to shreds, all over a handful of words. How easily we see our anger reflected in their eyes. You see a waterfall of replies. People arguing for both sides. The people who cannot believe games like King Lear exist. People who defend these games, the people who defend these games exists. Let me read. I think we need a line break here. Oh, how easily we see our anger reflected in their eyes. We too, we are angry. We are angry. We want to tear them to pieces. If we could, if we could, we would have their blood under our fingernails. You see a waterfall of replies. People arguing for both sides. People arguing for both sides. People arguing left and the right. That's better. Because both sides imply that someone's arguing for literally both sides of the argument, which is not really what I meant. The people who cannot believe games there are people who cannot believe games like King Lear exist. There are those who defend these games existing. There are those who call games art. All games. All games. Even games like King Lear. There are those who call King Lear trash, gratuitous, offensive, heartless, inappropriate by any and all means. By any and all means. There had never been a more divisive community. You would look at this. You would look at this exchange of words and wars. You look at this exchange of words. The salvos of cutting remarks. Ooh, of personal attacks! And you'd think there was no community more divided. And yet, these people at war with each other found themselves agreeing on certain points. Can we talk about the coronation scene? I cannot. I can't sleep. Does anyone have the mod that skips over that section? I don't think I can stomach playing through it. How do people make stuff like this? Like you have, you have to be messed up in the head. There's something sweet about their conversation. Although they're talking about someone else, often in black and white terms. Like good or bad. There's a sense that these people care. Hate is a kind of love. It's certainly hate. Ooh. Strangest of all is this hate. Don't you know? Don't you know? Hate is a kind of love. It's an attack. Everyone on these forums, on these threads, on the comments of all those videos, they were all attached. Hate. Hate is a type of attachment. To hate someone is to be attached to them. To think of them constantly. To hate someone is to be attached to them. To think of them constantly. To wish. To wish on them evil. To wish on them all the things in the world when we could be wishing ourselves all the riches. No. To hate someone is to be attached to them. To think of them constantly. We could wish for ourselves all the riches in the world, but when you hate someone, all you can do is to wish them ruin. There we go. Better. Ziska says, yeah, if I haven't said so already, I'm really hyped for this book. Thank you! Even Maxi won't respect my standards? Okay, well, have you considered maybe bringing a banner next time? Don't bring a standard! Maybe a flag? What about a flag, Ziska? Maybe bring a flag next time. Everyone on those forums, on those threads, on the comments of all those videos, they were all attached to the stories presented. They were all attached to those stories. To those video games. I still can't believe this got Game of the Year. Ziska says, I had 11 standard bearers and you felled them with one foul swoop. How was I to know? That's right, baby. That's right. Dude, Zelda should have gotten it. I heard that's why they forced them to change the name of their older games. Like Nintendo was being petty. You're wrong. That was way before King Lear came out. Also, do you know what Ravaged and Jagged was named before? Blank and Jagged? Dude, you're going to get banned. Oh, you know, I wanted to add he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Dude, why did my message get censored? Dude, why did my... What the fuck? Why did my message get censored? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. No, I think I prefer, dude, you're gonna get banned. Dude, you're gonna get banned. They are all attached. Though some are more attached than others. You know what it's like, don't you? When you love so hard or hate so hard that you spend every minute of your waking time thinking about it. Checking the threads, checking the forums, watching videos and reading the comments religiously. Sometimes it's the purest form of attachment. Sometimes it's just another kind of escape. Escape from your shitty day job, escape from an abusive relationship, escape from the pain, escape from the world you're stuck in. Threads and forums are the same thing. Checking social media, checking the forums, watching videos and reading the comments religiously. Even if all they do is piss you off. Sometimes, comma. This is the pure... No, not even sometimes. Just say. This is the purest form of attachment. Ooh. The truest, most crystallized version of this emotion. Crystallized form of emotion. Maxi, why are you adding this line, Maxi? Sometimes it's just another kind of escape. Sometimes it's just another kind of escape. This is the purest form of attachment. Okay, I found the line I wanted to add, but let me just rework through this. The goal of this is that you're attached and you're using this attachment to escape reality. This is the goal of this segment, by the way. When you love so hard or you hate so hard that you spend every minute of your waking hours thinking about it. Checking social media, checking the forums, watching videos and reading the comments religiously, even if all they do is piss you off. This here. This right here is the truest form of attachment. Emotion in crystallized form. Emotion in crystallized form. This is the truest kind of attachment. I don't want to have form twice in a sentence. Hi, Emma.
Welcome back.
The editing is going good. I'm doing a little bit of surgery on this paragraph, but everything's good. This right here is the truest kind of attachment. Emotion in crystallized form. How do I get back to... I want to get back to the idea that people are using this media to escape. They're all attached. I think I know. I think I know how we get there. Most people can't handle emotion so crimson. Emotion can't handle that much emotion. No. What? I know. Okay. What kind of madness could inspire someone to burn so brightly, to aim all their being and convert it into crystallized dread? To many, it was an escape. Escape from your shitty day job. Escape from an abusive relationship. Escape from the pain. Escape from the world you're stuck in. There we go. We brought it back. We brought it back. Green and blue. How beautiful these colors are when all you have known is whiteness. Green and blue speech bubbles fly by, each with a little message, a back and forth, two people talking. I got you a little present. Happy birthday. This is the game I've been telling you about. I hope you like it. OMG, thank you. I can't wait to go home and install it. Messages fly by faster. A whole flock of them. Like birds, they migrate away from the cold. Winter always arrives on time, killing all life in its path. I played the game. Yeah? What did you think? It's so fucked up. Winter arrives always on time. I'm so sad. I can't get out of bed. Why would anyone make a game like this? The message is slow. Only one color, the same color as before. What used to be a back and forth is now a wall made of the same bricks. Over and over, a person banging on the walls of their prison, begging for help, begging for an escape. I hate my family so much. But there comes no reply. You listen for the phantom sounds of fingers tapping on a keyboard, or on the surface. You listen for the phantom sound of fingers tapping on a keyboard, or on the surface of a smartphone. Nothing follows. There's only silence. No different than the silence that surrounds a corpse. There will never come a reply. You missed your chance. You stare deeper into the TV screen. You want to see more. You want to stay in the whiteness. You want to keep escaping, but the light begins to fade. You know it's your time. You know your time is coming to an end. You reach for the light. But all you feel is the cold glass of the TV screen. Then the lights go off. Then it's just you and the darkness of this room. Should the text be italicized for this section? You know what? I'm gonna let Kitty figure that one out. I realize that this is the only section where the darkness, there is darkness in the room segment that has italics for the dialogue. Dialogue? Should we make all of them italics? They are technically happening in memory / flashback. What do you think? All right, I'll just let Kitty figure this one out. All right, so that is the end of, I believe the section is called In a Dark Room. There you go. In a Dark Room. Act 1, Scene 2. Oh my god, I forgot to put a timer on. Alright, so because I know there are people who are going to rat me out to my wife, I'm gonna get up and stretch, and then we will do another cycle, okay? Instead of just turning on the timer right now. Yo, hi, Mary!
Welcome back.
How you doing, Mary? Yo, Mary! How you doing? By the way, Mary, one of the mods and lovely people on Nomia's stream, by the way. One of Nomia's 3 parents, can you believe that? Aw, Mary! Mary said, "Good. I admire your dedication to your craft. Thank you." I love writing. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. Alright, 25 minutes on the clock, get set, go. Act 1, Scene 2 of Episode 4. Adrian sat on the floor of the shower, feeling the coldness of the tile against his naked body. The water heater had long since given up on him, and the water from the shower was coming down cold as though it were rain. A part of me is like, I don't like repeating water twice in the same sentence, but I don't know how else to do this here. I'm gonna just like, I don't wanna repeat water, but I don't know what else could go here. Thoughts? You know, when I don't know, I just ask Kitty, I just ask my editor / my incredible, amazing, beautiful wife, what they think. He loved the rain. No one could ever tell you. No one could ever tell. See, this needs to get fixed. No one could ever tell you were crying. No one can tell. Yeah, no one can tell. No one can tell you're crying when you are in the rain. When you are. This sentence is clunky. Okay. So, what I want to get across is that he likes rain because when it's raining, no one can see you cry. He loved the rain. He knew no one could tell he was crying when he stood outside on a rainy day. There you go. Just like now. He had been doing a lot of crying. His skin was soft, his fingers wrinkly. He had been in the shower for a long, long time. To him, it had been an eternity. Time didn't pass in the shower as it did when he worked at his desk. He had hoped that he would black out and that the dozen hours would be nothing but a figment of his memory. Okay, so I want to say, okay, so immediately this needs to get a little bit reworked, okay? Time didn't pass in the shower as it did when he worked at his desk. Ooh, the blackouts. You know what? Maybe I just say the thing I want to. Maybe I'll just say what I mean. You know, to him had been an eternity. The blackouts didn't seem to chase him into the shower. That was why he had gone in there in the first place. He had hoped the hours would get away from him, that he would lose track of time, and that this pain would become just a figment of memory. Alas, the blackout never came. He remembered every second, every minute, every moment of his torture, his failure. It happened again. Agent had been thinking in circles for a long while. He felt sorry for himself, but not as sorry as he did for the poor little thing who was now lost. He told himself it wasn't his fault, and yet, there was proof. If he hadn't done what he did, if he hadn't created what he did, then everything would have been fine. His success had claimed yet another victim. He could not believe the nightmare had returned. He had been crying for so long, hearing the sounds of the shower for so long. He had been crying for so long. You know what? How about we just move this? He had been crying for so long that the sound of the shower had become a kind of white noise. Humans had this curious property about them. They were able to get used to anything. This should be a colon, actually. No torture was awful enough that a human could not, in time, learn to shoulder its suffering. And so, Adrian had gotten so used to the sounds of his sobbing and water raining down on him that when a new sound emerged in the bathroom, it lit up his senses like a flare. It was a door. The bathroom door had opened. It closed a second later, and a pair of feet lightly tapped on the bathroom floor, growing closer. The shower door opened. The magnet that kept it shut removed with the slightest hint of force. Adrian, are you okay? He did not look up. He felt ashamed. Ashamed of falling down the same spiral again. The last time this happened, he fell apart, like a toy broken beyond recognition. Casey and Ava had to baby him, nurture him back to health like some pathetic little hurt animal. He felt so useless, so helpless, and now he had dragged Nana into this one too. She spoke to him again, repeating her previous question. Her voice was warm, kind. She was a ray of sunshine. As always, her voice grew a little closer. Or was it getting louder? Either way, Adrian could not look up. He did not want to move. He did not want to think about work, and what work meant, what work did, the consequences of every line of code he had ever written. The price that had been paid for the game's success. In blood. In blood. It's about that, right? Oh, poor thing. I love, Adrian says, I'm okay, on the bottom, sitting on the floor of the shower, crying. Okay, yeah, sure thing, buddy. I'm okay, Adrian lied. Of course it was about that. That was all he could think about. I'll be out shortly, I just need a few more minutes. Adrian, you've been here for a long time. Adrian, you've been in here for a long time. You've been in there for a long time. Come on, let me help you out. Nana stepped into the shower, not caring that her clothes or hair got wet. She turned off the water, then softly, as though lifting the lifeless body of a family pet. Ah, that's what I meant to say. She turned off the water, then softly, as though lifting the lifeless body of a family pet, she helped Adrian back to his feet. He was light. He felt thinner than ever. Poor thing. Come now, I got you. You're not alone. Nana got you. Adrian did not reply. Without the white noise, he felt the thoughts rushing in. Tears streamed down his face. He cried soundlessly, just the way he had done when he was young. If he cried quietly, then no one would be bothered. His sadness would not inconvenience anybody. His tears would not get in the way of everyone else's important business. Wow, that's a lot of Adrian character there in just one paragraph, baby. I'm so sorry, Adrian said in between sobs, breaking the silence as though jolted out of a nightmare. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Adrian, it's okay, Nana said, reaching with one hand and taking a towel off the rack. She began to slowly, softly, dry Adrian's naked body. Let's get you dry and dressed, okay? How about Nana make you a nice meal? Something warm for sure. You're so cold. I'm so sorry, Adrian repeated. Nana did not argue. She did not pry. She only tried to help. She dried Adrian's body and helped him back. No comma here. Back into his clothes. He felt so small next to her. He felt so insignificant having someone else help him put his clothes on. But he was not unfamiliar with this sensation. He had been broken before. Casey and Ava had helped glue him back together. But now? Would they even be able to glue him back together again? Okay, it's good. It's not good enough. But now, Casey and Ava had glued him back. Just take the help off. Had glued him back together. But now, what was there to put back together? What was there to put back together? I shouldn't have, Adrian muttered under his breath, his words as solemn as a man's final words before the gallows. Let's just put a man's before the gallows. That's just easier. You already know if someone is at the gallows, they're gonna die. So let's just cut that out. You know, ease the flow of this already long sentence. I should have never made these games. Adrian. Nana's voice sounded distant. It was so different from her regular voice. It was nothing like a ray of sunshine. It was as cold and pale as moonlight. What happened was not your fault. You have a gift. Your games make people happy. They make me happy. They make you and Casey and Ava happy, isn't that? What? Enough? Adrian's voice came out hot angry. There were implications that blood was a worthy cost for their happiness. No. The cost had been blood. The cost for their happiness had been blood. Innocent blood. Was that worthy? Was that... What? Ooh. No happiness was good enough for Adrian. No. The cost for their happiness had been blood. Innocent blood. Adrian felt sick at the thought that anything positive could come. Hi, son!
Welcome back.
Adrian felt sick at the thought to think that anything positive could come from that loss. That loss, it made Adrian sick. He stared into Nana's face, but he saw nothing. No disappointment, no anger, not even sadness or pity. It will all be okay. Then I leaned closer. Slowly, she brought her fingers towards Adrian's face. She closed his eyelids, letting those final tears slide down his cold cheeks. She then leaned closer and pressed her lips and planted a kiss. That's better because she doesn't have lips. And planted a kiss against Adrian's cheek, then his lips. He felt himself grow soft, weak. She held him together so that he would not break again. She held him together without glue, as though by magic. It will all be okay. There you go. Putting a lot of delicious little foreshadowing here. Act 1, Scene 3. Sunset burned across the horizon, marking the end of yet another terrible day. But the two lost souls in the basement could not tell that time was passing. The clock was ticking ever closer to midnight. The fuse had long since burnt out. The explosion arrived, and it seemed that nothing would ever be the same again. Let me look up if this is how you write fuse. Fuse word. It is every single time. Alright, fellas, here's a little lesson, by the way. Fuse is spelled with an S. I thought fuse was spelled with a Z. That's actually a name of an energy drink. Fuse is with an S. Everyone remember that. You're like, Maxi, how did you not know that, Maxi? English is not my first language. That's the thing right there. And someone's gonna be like, wow, Maxi, so English is not your first language? You have dyslexia, and you're trying to be a writer? Yeah. Life's not fair, okay? Life's not fair, okay? You don't have to shove it on my face, okay? Vtubers. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know that Sano is Hungarian. Dude, shoutouts to Hungary. Shoutouts to all my international friends. Yo, Antir! Hi, Antir!
Welcome back.
Your Honor, they did it to themselves. Hi, Antir!
Hey, boy.
Yo, Antir's here! Dude. Alright. The fuse had long since burned out, the explosion arrived, and it seemed that nothing would ever be the same again. And yet, that's how what they thought last time. I'm doing great, Antir. Ronnie says, this isn't Twitch. No, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm back. I'm back to streaming. I have a full week of streaming this week. I'm doing Dark Souls with Nomia tomorrow. The day after that is Elden Ring with Sisk and Plaguesworth. And Friday I'm playing Bloodborne. This is a FromSoft channel, interspersed with me editing my book and making art. I'm having fun. Also, this is my Halloween outfit, by the way. Yeah. Anyways, and yet that's what they thought last time. Maybe they would get over it again. Satisfied at last, the two lost souls laid down on the bed. It wasn't exactly big enough for the two of them, but they made it work. It wasn't until they found success they could even afford to purchase new furniture. Casey and Ava had always made do with what they had. Just like they had made use... What does this line mean? Had made do with what they had. Just like they always made the best of each other. There you go. Made the best of each other. There you go. What's bothering you? Casey asked, resting her head on Ava's chest. She pressed her ear to her skin. She pressed her ear. I will say, okay, so this sentence, there's two people in this scene who have she, her pronouns, so this is immediately confusing. So I'm thinking I want to reformat this and could hear the sound of her heartbeat. Still, okay. Resting her head on Ava's chest. So she could hear the sound of her heartbeat. So she could hear her heartbeat. That's we already know that heartbeats are in fact a sound. Resting her head on Ava's chest so she could hear her heartbeat. Still, the drumming went on as loud as it had before. You're never forceful unless something is bothering you. Ava did not reply. She simply rested there, her eyes closed, as though trying to keep her senses reined in. Their silence dragged on for a second too long to be comfortable. And so Casey asked again, is this about the news story? Is that what got you on pins and needles? Once again, Ava offered no reply. Whether she was trying not to think, or simply ignoring the topic, Casey was not sure. She knew that Ava was still with her, still there sharing that moment in the afterglow. Casey felt Ava's hands caressing her shoulder, then down to her collarbone. At least Ava was still seeking stimulation, so she couldn't be far. There was just something on her mind. Is it about the release date? Casey asked. She was being more than curious now. She wanted to know. She wanted to know, if anything, because it would help her get away from her own thoughts. She had been thinking about what happened. She had hardly gotten any work done in the last week. And that was before Ava knocked on her door asking for a little distraction. Maybe not. No, she had hardly gotten any work done that day. I mean, if it's the release date, sure, we'll push it back. I mean, what can we do? It's a bad time to announce we would be releasing. It's a bad time to announce to announce an early release for 12th Night. Am I writing smut? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no sex in this book. No one has ever had sex in this book. This is a perfectly chaste book for God honoring men, women, and non-binary people. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a bad time to announce an early release for 12th Night. It would just seem kind of heartless. So yeah, it's not the right time. We already put up a post about it. People know we know. About it. People know we know about it. No one has ever had sex ever. It's so true. Could somebody please quote Antier saying no one has ever had sex ever? Could somebody please quote Antier on that, please? That's a good one. Thank you, Kate. You're the best. Where was I? So yeah, it's not the right time. We already put up a post about it. People know. People know we know. People know we know. And we should we really should have nothing to do with this. The tis but a quantum material. Yeah, I know what that means, and it is very funny. That's the right time. Okay, let me get back to the sentence. Okay, I mean, if it's the release date, fuck it, we'll push it back. I mean, what can we do? It's a bad time to announce an early release for 12th night. It would just seem kind of heartless. It's not a question, that's a statement. So yeah, it's not the right time. I got you, Siska. We already put up a post about it. People know. People know. People know. People know that we know. About the... You know. What else can we do? We should just go quiet. For a while. Ava stopped, considering her own words, her own guilt. When she spoke again, her words were not meant for Ava, but rather for herself. Casey was trying to convince herself that she was right. I mean, so what if something awful happened? I mean, I'm sorry it happened, but it's not our fault. If it hadn't been our game, it would have been something else. Casey let the words fall out of her lips, though she did not fully believe in them. The antitoxin did not work. The poison inside of her, that awful thing called guilt, burned inside. It hurt to think, it hurt to look into the mirror's reflection, and so she tried to keep herself distracted. And she wasn't the only one. Casey? Yes, Ava? What's wrong? Have you seen the photograph? Casey blinked her eyes slowly, as though attempting to make out the words of a language she was not familiar with. She attempted to infer the meaning of Ava's words, but she failed. Photograph? The one that broke in your room. At this, Casey laughed. She rolled her eyes and spoke in a dramatic fashion, as though to savor this momentary distraction from their problems. I love my wife's bits. That's a quote that Dale got. And then San says, wife bits sounds like turning your SO into binary notation. San, I want to be honest, that joke is way too smart for the stream, San. I'm going to have to ask you to walk it back. That joke, there's layers to that joke, San. San, there's layers to that joke. I'm going to ask you to walk that back. That's way too smart for the stream. Oh, you mean the photo? The ghost broke? I really think it should be the ghost should be italicized. Got it, got it, ooga booga it is. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Oh, my model's frozen again. Look, San was so funny that I just got stuck. I'm stuck now. Alright, let me just relaunch my face. My face broke. OMG, Maxi, you can't just ask someone why they're sad. Fucking watch me. Alright, I should be back now. There you go, I'm back. Oh, you mean the photo? The ghost broke, lazily. Casey pointed to her rows of bookshelves in the back of her basement studio. There, somewhere between the books and her little sanctuary of video game memorabilia, lay the broken remains of the photograph still in its frame. Yeah, it's over there somewhere. I gotta get a new frame for it. Why? Don't tell me you're back to thinking the house is haunted. At this, Casey's words became more pointed. We've been through that. I also have never summoned the demon, though if I could, that would be dope as hell. Oh, my wife sent me a text. My wife says, have a good stream, babe, love you. Aww, love you too. Love you too. And a bunch of heart emojis.
Dude, that's gay.
Alright. At last, Ava opened her eyes. Okay, I know the timer just went off. Let's just finish this chapter and then we'll move on, okay? At last, Ava opened her eyes. She turned her head, strands of black and green swaying with the motion. She stared into Casey's eyes, brown eyes reflected on blues. When she opened her mouth to speak, she was dead serious. There was no play in her voice, no room for subtext or comedy. Ava's words were as hard as a coroner's diagnosis. You should try looking at it closely. I know I sound crazy, but I have a hunch. Not now, don't get up. But later, when you do get a chance, you should take a closer look. Okay. And now, fellas, we are on break, fellas. We're on break, fellas. Alright, welcome to, on this stream, we like to take a little break every few so minutes to allow a chance for me, the navigator of this room, to actually get up and stretch my butt and my legs, because it turns out that sitting down in a chair for multiple hours at a time is not healthy for you. So here I am, stretching, and while I do some nice exercises like rotating my shoulders and like drawing hip circles with my hips, people in chat, you're welcome to ask me anything. There's actually a segment that we do on these streams, actually. So feel free. I will answer any and all questions proposed to me in chat, starting now. Yo, hi Hans!
Hey, boy.
Hans says, hello, how is everyone? I'm doing pretty good today. I'm doing an editing stream. I'm having fun. Making good progress on my book, and I think it is possible that I get this book out this month. I mean, because really, like, once I'm done touching it, it goes to my editor, who does all the final touches, so during that time, we're gonna work on the cover for the book, and yes, we're going to be doing the artwork for all of that on stream. Would you rather fight a penguin or a giraffe? Definitely a penguin. Because a giraffe is kind of like a horse, and like horses will fuck you up. I think that I can force a penguin to tip over, and once it's on its back, I'm good. Also, giraffes have the rubber neck. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I could probably outrun a penguin. Like, yeah, sure, I'm out of shape, but I can probably outrun a penguin. Actually, I went for a walk yesterday, because I've been really under the weather, I've been really sick, whatever. But I'm like, you know what, I gotta get back on shape, so, you know, went for a nice long walk. And I could tell I was out of shape, because halfway through the walk, I was like... but I made it all the way through. Imagine a giraffe voiced by David Schwimmer fucking you up. Could you imagine? Wait, is that who voiced the giraffe in Madagascar? I've never watched those films. Was the giraffe in Madagascar voiced by David Schwimmer? I'm gonna tell you, okay? David Schwimmer, also known as Ross from Friends, by the way. I got shook when yeah, it was him. Oh my god. Hi DZ. Hello DZ. I knew David Schwimmer. Oh my god, those movies are my childhood. Hell yeah. I knew David Schwimmer from Friends. Until I watched the HBO special Band of Brothers, where he appears as the hard ass like military like a training man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? I did not take him seriously in that role. I kept looking at him and I'm like, that's just Ross from Friends. Why would I take this guy seriously? Oh, he's a hard ass like military training man? Yeah, right. I will, by the way, anybody out there who's seen Band of Brothers, by the way, I believe it's in episode 8 or 9, there's a jump scare where, I believe it is Captain Frost receives a message from HQ, and the guy who delivers the message is none other than fucking Jimmy Fallon. Can you imagine you're watching a TV series set in World War II, and I don't know where is Jimmy Fallon delivering a letter. And it's like young Jimmy Fallon too, so he looks like a baby. I think about those moments all the time. Who else did voice work in Madagascar? Am I gonna look up the voices of Madagascar? Madagascar cast. There we go. Ben Stiller voiced the character in these movies? Okay, yeah, Chris Rock was okay, yeah, I knew that. Oh my god, Desi and I, same brainwave, oh my god. Ben Stiller and Chris Rock, oh my god. Ben Stiller was the main character. He's the sea... No, he's the lion, right? The lion is the main character, right? That's so funny. Alright. And that's it for the break time. 5 minutes of break. A little bit over what I would normally like, but honestly, I was having fun. I was stretching. He's Zoolander in lion form. That's like the best recommendation for a movie you could have ever given me, Dale. Because I love Zoolander. That movie is so dumb. Maxi, that movie's bad. It is bad. Siska! Siska said, literally, a Zoolander. Alright, I finished my cup of coffee, so guess what? Time to bring out my big old jug of water. Stay hydrated. Remember, if you are in an area of the world where it's really hot right now, please stay hydrated. And with that, we'll return to the world of editing. At the count of 3, 2, 1, boop. 25 minutes on the clock. Episode 4, Act 2, Scene 1. It had been hours since Adrian sat down to work. Once upon a time, work had been an escape for him. He got away from the questions that burned inside of him by working on his passions. Through his games, his art, his stories, he had a chance to explore himself, to find answers to those unspoken questions. He had always struggled with the way he viewed himself, the way the world saw him. It felt as though words losing meaning when translated from one language to another. What he saw in the mirror was not what he saw inside, and not what he wanted people to see. Through his work, he got to explore what it would be like to be someone else, someone who looked differently, spoke differently, and was seen differently by the world. This used to be his escape. Now, it was his prison. Ooh, Desi's making some tea. What kind of tea, Desi? I have to know. On this stream, we ask food-related questions. It had been hours. I will say I am very partial towards just black tea, by the way. Oh my god. Black tea is so good. Adrian had been sitting... Oh, not this song. Not this... I need to take this song off of the playlist. Anyways, Adrian had been sitting at his desk trying to work, trying not to think about what happened to that poor soul, and achieving neither. Yo, good job, Cade. Water all the way, let's go. He got no work done. He could not stop thinking about them. He could not read the text on his screen. He could hardly type a coherent sentence. He could not focus, no matter how hard he tried to just jump in. The flow state denied him entry. The pool was devoid of water. The jump broke his bones every time. Adrian looked at the upper right corner of his computer screen. Time was passing. The numbers were changing, ascending from the lowest to the highest. Minutes were slowly turning into hours, and the same day was getting away from him. But there was no escape. The blackouts did not come, and he felt so useless, so helpless. For once he sought the release of losing track of time, of losing himself in the hours of hard work until his stomach cried in pain, and so much acid had accumulated in his muscles, that the very act of pulling himself off the chair caused a miraculous rapture to ring through his entire being. Huh? Siska says, guys, I did it. Siska! Did you dye your hair red? Dude! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Oh my god, hell yeah. Congratulations, Siska. You have That's right. Welcome, Ginger. Oh, wait a minute. I get it now. Never mind. No, Siska beat the Elden Ring boss who has red hair, and this is okay. Never mind. For a hot second, I thought Siska dyed their hair red. I'm not dyeing my hair ever again. You're staying blonde, huh? I got excited. Siska, in my head, in the span of the 2 seconds where I thought you dyed your hair red, I came up with so many bits. I was gonna make jokes about Melania, Blade of Mikola. I was like, you ever try to fight a bitch so bad you become that bad bitch? Actually, Hans, it was from the DLC. Or unless the DLC gets harder after, that bomb. Anyways. But today he was spared. Adrian looked at the clock. The minutes appeared to last longer. Seconds stretched on and on. It seemed impossible that time could flow so slowly. It was as though the flow of time, a river of sorts, had dried out, and now only a little stream, no wider than a pencil, was attempting to stay the course amidst a dried riverbed. Let's go with dead riverbed. This was a different type of torture, though one that was not unfamiliar to him. Adrian felt a curious sense of nostalgia. It was just as it had been when he was little, when he waited for Santa to come down the stairs and leave presents under the tree. He used to wait there, hiding in the closet of the living room. The door ajar just enough that he could see through the crack. He waited, every second dragging on for longer than possible. The grandfather clock was visible from his vantage point. He could hardly register the hands moving. It was as though they were stuck in place, time standing still as the mechanism that governed all reality attempted to reboot. Those faithful Christmas nights. Faithful or fateful? I think I meant to say fateful. Christmas nights were often spent the same way. Those? Hello, Maxi from the past, this is me, Maxi from the future. What the hell do you mean by this sentence, Maxi? I will say, by the way, I wrote this book a year ago, so that's why I'm sitting here like, what the hell does this mean? Every Christmas night was spent the same way. Let's go with that. Maxi, look at Discord in your break. What if I look at Discord right now, huh? Yo, bangs! Siska's got bangs! Dude! The bangs look good on you, Siska. Get wrecked, loser. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's spelled Christmas. Thank you, Ronnie. Christ ass? How dare you all? How dare you? Am I gonna check if I misspelled Christmas in this book? Okay, Christmas. There's only one Christmas in the entire book. Okay. Every Christmas night was spent the same way. He would stay up, watch the hands remain still. The hands of the clock remained still as the young Adrian lost his mind and his patience. Soon enough, sleep would claim him, and he would surrender atop a pile of coats and jackets. In time, Santa would leave his presence, unaware of the young woman sleeping soundly in the closet. Would leave presents, unaware of the young... Let's go with young girl. Young girl sleeping soundly in the closet. Is this a reference about Adrian being in the closet until he met all his friends? I wonder. Adrian felt tears welling up in his eyes. Unable to see time on the computer screen, he blinked them. letting the tears fall down, down. He wanted to surrender. He waved the flag of defeat. He wanted to sleep for a long, long time. But there was no reprieve. He dried his eyes and stared, watching the time inch forward one. I don't think this line break is supposed to be here. One eternity at a time. It's kind of artsy. I don't know. I don't think I meant that to be a line break literally in a sentence. I don't think I meant that. And I know my wife. I bet that if I asked Kitty to pick whether that stays or leaves, they would go, fucking kill that, Max. That's dumb. Work used to be his one escape from the real world. He used to dive deep into his work the same way a swimmer would jump off the highest board and dive into the deepest point of the pool. There, at the bottom of the night, he found a little world he could control. In his games, he was the sole arbiter of what happened. His programming skills were no different than the laws which governed the real world. He could make and unmake little people without a second's thought. NPCs spawned into the world and vanished without fanfare. He could manipulate every element, every line of dialogue, every single texture upon every single object. No actor was without his direction. No boundary existed without his making. In this way, he found peace. In his work, he found something he could control. No matter how bad things were outside, on the news, in his personal life, he could always get back to work. Get back to his little world where he held all the cards. Although his art was a game, he was not playing. He was not dealing the cards or taking the chips off of other players' hands. He was the house, the overseer, the person in charge. Inside his little workspace, he mattered. His opinion mattered. His work had consequences. Without it, he had nothing. Adrian felt the new sadness sting him then. No different than a wasp penetrating the skin of its prey over and over. Adrian recognized the irony of his life. His work was hurting him. It might one day kill him. But he needed this work. Without it, he was adrift at sea without a lifesaver. Please, just let me in. Adrian's words were so feeble, so weak, he hardly recognized his own voice. Most of the time, he was busy listening to his creative voice. He seldom had time to listen to himself. The real him. He didn't give advice because he never followed his own. Kate makes a good point. Is it lightsaver or life preserver? Life saver. So, welcome to the duality of man, by the way. So, I think we can argue that half of these images are, in fact, of the lifesaver tool. And you're thinking, oh, Maxi, it's actually one word or two words. I can already see lifesaver as one word, lifesaver as two words. Oh, dude, the gummies are better than the regular ones, right? Like, straight up. The gummies are better. Lifesaver versus lifesaver with a space. A ring save life preserver. Okay, let's go life preserver then. No, but a life preserver is the vest. What are these called? I typed life preserver and the first thing it gave me was the vest. Preserve her? I don't even know her. Ronnie, when they have to disarm a bomb and they tell the person to cut to cut the wrong cable. Preserve her? I hardly know her. You know what? You know who should take care of this problem? Kitty. Okay. So on stream, we talked about this. Lifesaver is correct, but it makes one think of the candy. But there is also the candy. Life preserver is another option, but that's an umbrella term that includes life bests. Keep split into two words. Split into two words. Make it into life vest / jacket. You decide, and then I fix it across the book. There we go. San says, just call them flotation contraptions. Lemao throwing this on your wife? She's the editor! She is the one in charge. Whenever there's an issue that I don't know how to solve, I just have the editor solve it. You know, because, see, the thing is that I trust my editor, and secondly, you have to have someone who can call the shots, and that's not me. It's the editor who calls the ultimate shot. Please, just let me in. Adrian's words were so feeble, so weak. He hardly recognized his own voice. Most of the time he was busy listening to his creative voice. He seldom had the time to listen to himself, the real him. So, I don't feel like these words here. Okay, alright, okay, so, Antier says, Maxi really is the whole, loving my wife isn't a personality, tell that to my wife whom I love?
Dude, that's gay.
Yeah, that's me. That is literally me. I love my wife. I love my wife, and my wife is the best. And I'm sorry, you know, if you don't love your wife, I don't know, it seems to me like a skill issue. Damn, Max, damn, Maxi, just murder. Also, Ronnie said earlier, leave me alone. That was a fun stream. Yeah, yeah, would you rather have the opposite? As San points out, the entire brand of boomer comics about how much they hate their wife? The real him. He didn't give advice because he never followed his own. What good were the words of someone like him? I am going to do the hardest thing a writer ever has to do. I'm just gonna cut this segment. I don't think it advances. It takes that paragraph into a completely different direction. Expressing. A little bit of German slipping into Siska's regular English. Most of the time, he was busy listening to his creative voice. He seldom had time to listen to himself, the real him. I'm almost even wondering if I should just cut all of this. He hardly recognized his own voice. You know what? Fuck it. At last, he hit rock bottom. He was broken of heart, mind, and spirit. There was nothing left for him. There was nothing left. I'm really sorry. I really am. If I could, Adrian said, not to himself or to the work computer in front of him, but to someone who was no longer alive. A stranger, really. It was someone Adrian would have never known otherwise. They shared a bond like guillotine and executioner. If I could give it all up, would you still be here? If I could give it all up... if I could give it all up, so you wouldn't, so you would still be here? I would. I really would. Adrian looked down at his hands. Would he really? If some magical source allowed him to turn back time, would he give up everything he had worked to get, just to prevent one calamity? Just to prevent one? Just to prevent... Ooh. A pair. Ooh, to prevent a death. Ooh, a recent death and a distant one. A recent death and a distant one. If I could give it all up, so you, both of you, were still here, I would. I really would. I nearly forgot. Little plot hole, by the way. For anyone out there who's not following what's happening in the story, in the segment we read 2 chapters ago, we read about a fan of the games who may or may not have done something terrible. And over the course of the last few chapters, we have learned that something bad has happened to one of their fans, and I established earlier that it had happened again. So there's been at least 2 people who have, you know, had a bad thing happen. Had a bad thing happen because of their games. Adrian was not sure. Just to prevent a death or 2. A death or 2. Adrian was not sure. He wanted to believe that he would do the right thing. He wanted to believe that at his core he was a good person who didn't mean to hurt anyone. But there was no way to know for sure. Because there was no magic. No genie in a bottle. No matter how hard he claimed that he would turn back time and exchange his life for that of others, it was nothing more than self-righteous pity. I just want to get back to work. Adrian felt a rush of coldness take over his body. This numbness felt like the toxin of some unseen creature. He felt cold sweat slide down the length of his temples. Even this would be the side of his temples, the sides of his temples. The side of his temples? Even though his body felt cold, this droplet was even colder. As though afraid he would freeze there in place, he tried to shake his body. He succeeded, but the coldness did not go away. He looked at the time. It hadn't even been a minute. He thought of what he was going through as a kind of well-earned torture. But then a thought came to mind. It was late. Very late. He hadn't taken his pills. He laughed. He forced himself to let out a loud laugh. All these things he was feeling were probably just his anxiety getting bad again. He hadn't taken his pills in a while, and I was supposed to pick up his prescription. He had fought her, told her that she didn't need to, that he could do it, that he could make time to get out of the house for once. But she was stronger than him. Her compassion and carefreeness burned him like a ray of sunfire. In the end, he backed down. He told her they would put her on the payroll. Nana deserved that much. She was an angel. Always ready to help them. Always arriving just when they needed her. Now, Hans is correct. There's a lot of redheads in Elden Ring. Even those who don't have red hair are in fact redheads. Maxi, why did you hit the rim shot? That's not really a joke. That's just like a fact. And all of them, they all love cheese.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's right. The Edam ring. How dare you, Siska? That's way too funny. I'm gonna have to ask you to wind that back a little bit. Take us back to Ooga Booga, please. I appreciate that. There came a knock at the door. Instinctly. Is this instinctly spelled correctly? It's instinctively. That's what I thought. Adrian looked at the clock on his computer monitor. Had he finally lost track of time? Was it now dinner time? Was he finally free? No. It was still the same minute. The same torturous minute that had dragged on for what felt like hours. He wanted to work, even if it hurt him. He didn't want to think about the news anymore. He wanted an escape, any escape. He called out to whoever was on the other side of the door, hurriedly asking them to come in, to distract him, to help the flow of time return back to normal. A soft, warm voice replied. Then, a head of blue hair came in, holding a paper bag in one hand. Adrian recognized the red print on the bag. It was from the pharmacy. The employee of the month, every month, had come through yet again. Adrian tore open the bag, twisted the bottle cap. He swallowed the pills raw. He sat back down on his desk. With childish curiosity, Adrian slowly turned to look at the time on the computer. He dragged his vision across yet another fully programmed sequence and a set of new animations he had somehow just finished. Okay, this needs to get fixed. He dragged his vision across yet another fully programmed sequence and a set of new animations he had just now finished. He felt the warmth spread over him. The office was dark again. His body felt sore. He had been sitting down for hours, and the day's work was done. Act 2, Scene 2. Casey had gotten lost in her work again. The hours passed by as she edited sound effects, uploaded them to the shared folder. No worries, hands. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care. Uploaded them to the shared folder and went about working on new tracks for the game. All of this happened around her as though she was no different to the mechanism as any other gear or piston. Caught in the flow, Casey couldn't help but feel her thoughts recede into the back room of her mind. In between tasks, she had flashes of realization, hundreds of complex thoughts compressed into the space between dragging a file into a folder and seeing upload to the and seeing it uploaded to the shared server. All right, fellas, I'm on break. So as you know, you're welcome to ask me any questions. Oh, I forgot to go back to focus. Okay, that's hilarious. That's incredible. I love that. Anyways, fellas, I'm on break. You can ask me any questions while I get up and stretch. Starting now. Also, if you haven't already, please consider leaving a like on the stream. It actually helps a lot. And the #1 way to support the stream and what I do is by supporting me through coffee.com/mkirin, top left corner of the screen. How tall am I? I would say I'm 36 megabytes big, I think. Oh, you mean me in real life? I am below average in height. That much I can tell you. My wife is taller than me, and I'm taller than Kate. I'm shorter than Siska and shorter than Plague. I'm shorter than Winnie, but taller than Chippy. I'm taller than Kendra, and shorter than Cade. What is this Professor Layton puzzle? I'm shorter than Kitty, but taller than Cade. Taller than Chippy. I'm probably taller than Nomia. We have established that Nomia fits in your pocket, so I'm definitely taller than Nomia. Whenever Nomia's streaming, whenever they get up to like do anything in their room that isn't at the desk, their model becomes like microscopic, and I'm like, that's real size Nomia right there. Like for realsies. I'm not even like kidding. That's just true. Son, I don't know which specific guy you're talking about. The first guy that came to mind is the guy who tells me how to lay my bedroom around. That's the first guy that came to mind. Is there a guy on the internet who attempts to find people's heights by asking them. I mean, like, I bet there's probably some sort of, like, not like a logic puzzle, but there's probably a series of, like, questions that you could ask someone to, like, mathematically figure out their size. Probably asking them, oh, he just does that by real object. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay, I see. I get that. Okay, yeah. If I show you a picture of me and you look at the door frame. Siska says, fun fact, 4 members of our D&D campaign are the exact same height. And I'm shorter than all of them. Oh, that's so funny. Subtracting 0.06 inches for socks. That's so funny. MFers who don't want to wear heels, they just put on like 16 pairs of socks. Alright, I'm stretching. I drank water. Let me roll my shoulders real quick. What have I eaten today? I woke up late because I was not feeling good today. So far I've had a cup of coffee and I had a sandwich with peanut butter and strawberry jam. A little PB&J. What can I say? I'm a peanut butter bitch. You know I'm a PBB. Yeah, you know, like, you know when the cops put an APB, that is a all peanut butter bitches on the case again. That's me. Maxi, does that imply that you work for the cops? How's the weather up there? It's not as warm as it was before. It's getting less warm, which makes me happy. I also feel like I wonder, you know, hold up. Let me look up a map of the world. Map of the world. Of the world longitude. Let's see. Am I up there? I'm thinking, world map, because, San said, how's the weather up there? And I'm like, I'm in the US. I actually think you're above us, San. Yeah, here we go. So, if we look at the world based on, you know, longitude, you know, I believe Hungary is like right here. Oh, because I'm tall? Oh. They mean your height, you dingus. Oh, I thought it was funny. I looked up a fucking map of the world based on longitude. And then I'm like, well, Hungary is here and the US is here. Technically speaking, Hungary is actually higher than the US. But you know what? Well, now I'm embarrassed. So now I'm just gonna close this tab and I'm gonna just get back to work. Yeah, but what about your elevation? I know, Kate. Like, it's never fair, Kate. Cause like, yeah, over here where I live, things are cooling down, but where Kate lives, it's fucking hot. It's hot, and I'm not talking about it that way. That is a fun fact. Right, fellas. Time to get back to work. We have approximately enough time for 2 more cycles, and then I think we're gonna do dailies. So 50 more minutes of editing, and then we're gonna have some nonsense, okay? Oh my god, Cade. Don't talk about it being over 100 degrees, Jesus Christ. At least there was hope. Casey was getting burnt out. she really wanted to do something else. This constant working on game after game, release after release, was no longer just beginning to harm her. It had become a condition that she fought against. A condition she fought with tooth and nail. This might be fine. Take care, Kate. Love ya. Yeah, take care, Mary. Love you too. Careful out there. That was why she got out of the house as often as she did. That was why she wanted them to take a vacation as badly as she did. Maybe if they got out of the house, out of the grind, for long enough, maybe the other two would realize the truth. This was not a healthy way to make art. Casey despised the idea of the tortured soul. It was nothing but a fallacy. An artist didn't need to be tormented to be able to make great art. All they needed was patience and consistency. That was all there was to it. Practice, patience, working at a craft one day at a time. Every time Casey had reached out to the other developers, they had all told her the same thing. They were overworked and tired. And some of them were depressed beyond repair. And yet, all of them said their art was better for it. Bunch of dumbasses. Casey liked making art. At least, she had liked it before they moved to the new house, before they had success. But she wanted to get back there. She wanted to feel the desire to make something new, to create something only she could have ever come up with. Of course, she thought of striking out on her own, but she couldn't. Not because she didn't trust in her abilities, but because of them. She loved Adrian and Ava more than anything. More than even her art. Once again, caught between the sword and the wall, Casey felt the familiar sting of futility. She wanted something she might never have again, but her life wasn't without promise. She had Adrian and Ava, and honestly, maybe that was enough. Casey put the last file into the folder. She wrote down some notes about a new song and a couple notes she wanted to amend to a track that was already finalized. And a couple notes about a track she wanted to revise. Who's messaging me? Let me get back to my wife. Let me get back to my wife. There you go. Okay. She wrote down some notes about a new song and a couple. No. Maxi, you don't have to do this, Maxi. She wrote down some notes about a new song and a track she wanted to revise. It was good, but she thought she could make it better. In that final note, she recognized her old voice. The part of her that sought to make art that only she could make. The spark of something entirely hers. It was a shame that it came at such a terrible time. As much as Casey wanted to believe that she had fallen into this flow state because she really wanted to work, the truth was a lot more jaded. She was working, full on breaking her back working, to get away from the news. This was her way to cope about the fact that this was her way to cope, and the fact that it worked made her feel even more miserable. There it was, the glimmer of herself that made her truly happy, and she was only able to achieve it thanks to someone else's misery. Casey shook her head. She got up from her chair, she stood up, reaching up to the ceiling with her hands, and heard her back and arms crack. It hurt, but it also felt good. It was a distraction, a pleasurable distraction from the news. Yes, it was tragic, yes, it was awful, but it had nothing to do with them. At least, that's what Casey told herself over and over. Casey walked out of her basement office in a hurry to escape her. Casey walked out of her basement. You know what? You don't need to know that we know it's a basement, okay? In a hurry to escape from her thoughts. She was trying to flee the news so badly that she completely forgot about what Ava had said earlier. Casey didn't have eyes for the bookshelf, for the photo frame face down on the shelf. Face down. Next to the video game merch that Ava had mistaken for occult paraphernalia. There was not a single thought dedicated to that. She was too busy fending off guilt and sadness. So much wasted, so much pain, but it had nothing to do with her. Or so she said. Oh, that's fun, son. Casey made it to the top of the stairs, back to the first floor of the house, then cut a beeline for the front door. She allowed herself, let me double check something, perfect. She allowed herself the chance to look at their house for the mess that it was. In this, she found a good distraction. Everything seemed to be getting worse. They hadn't made time to unpack those cardboard boxes in the hall. Considering the situation with the mold, there was no telling if those boxes were full of the stuff. They might have to toss everything out. Just the thought of having to deal with that disgusted Casey. But it did serve to be a good distraction. But then again, it was a distraction. I'm sorry. She thought about the steps. She made a checklist on her mind. She considered renting a truck. She wondered which landfill they would have to go to. Back at her hometown, all these things had been known, quantifiable, but in this new home, far away from her crappy parents, there was so much room for her to figure out her own life. And that was both scary and relieving. Unlike the porch of the house, which was mostly disgusting. There were piles of boxes once again. Adrian and Ava ordered most of what they needed off the internet. They had their groceries delivered, their toiletries, everything. But they were always too busy to spare 2 minutes to get the boxes off the porch. Honestly, it was a surprise no porch pirates had looted them. If anything, that might have been a favor. Casey shook her head at the piles of boxes, some of which looked darker, as though they had gotten wet with the weather, and wondered how long they had until a neighbor started knocking on their door. Whether she liked it or not, they were making the rest of the historic houses look bad by comparison. Casey got down the steps, walked over to the mailbox, and found it yet again overflowing. Nana, come on. Casey emptied the mailbox, carrying 2 armfuls of mail. It looked like weeks, if not months, of mail had been sitting there, slowly stretching the metallic mailbox. It was so bad. Ooh. The mailbox looked like some overgorged snake or mosquito. And now, it seemed as though the metal was slowly receding back to its normal shape. Nah, I don't feel like we need that. Nana was supposed to be getting their mail. Casey had already put Nana on the payroll, way before asking the other two. She had even brought up giving Nana her first paycheck, but the young woman was quite adept at dodging the question. She was a natural-born acrobat with the way she cartwheeled out of every conversation she didn't want to be a part of. Now that's a good line. That's a good line. With all the mail in hand, Casey walked back into the house, letting the door soundlessly close behind her. She cut across the house. She walked back. Inside. She cut across the house, walking under the archway that led to the kitchen, and finding that she wasn't the only one there. Adrian was standing in the kitchen, looking through the cabinets. So far, he had opened half of them, though it seemed he had not found what he was looking for. What's the matter? What's the matter? Casey asked. If it was supposed to come in the mail, then it's probably outside. Though I wouldn't get too excited, some of those boxes got cut in the rain apparently. Some of those boxes look like they got caught in the rain. Casey dumped the mail onto the kitchen island and started sorting through it, though only for a moment. When Adrian didn't reply, she couldn't help but look up at him. His hair was more of a mess than usual, and there was a glistening to his skin. Was he sweating? Adrian, are you okay? Casey let the mail she was holding, Casey, let go of the mail she was holding. Then took a step around the island towards Adrian. Adrian, when she heard a sound neither of them expected. A jitter, as though a container of Tic Tacs. Is that how you spell Tic Tacs? Is it 2 words? It is 2 words, perfect. Are those my pills? Casey stopped, leaned over the island and retrieved a paper envelope with a red print across the side. The label said it belonged to Adrian. It looked like one of those mail-order pharmacy refills. She handed it to him, but he nearly tore it out of her hands. Before she could say anything, Adrian was out of the kitchen. She stood in place, as though waiting to hear what came next. There were no feet against the staircase, so she assumed Adrian had not run up to the 2nd floor. To Ava. Seeing as how... this should be a... To Ava. Seeing how he remained on the 1st floor, she assumed that he was probably just getting back to work. He got pretty shaky without his meds, so she didn't make much of it. After all, it was he who asked her to order the refill. After all, he did ask her to order the refill. He asked her to order the refill. And so, Casey went back to the island, sorting the mail into a few neat piles. Circular, also known as junk, letters for each of the 3 members, mail for the company, sometimes there were a few fan letters, though these got rerouted from their P.O. box. Letting their fans know where they lived seemed like a bad idea, especially considering the news. Casey wasn't expecting people to show up at their doorstep with signs. Furthermore's probably in here somewhere, I'm not gonna lie, son. Casey wasn't expecting people to show up at their doorstep with signs. She thought most people had enough sense to see that, although their games were tangentially related to what happened, they were just a fact in the case. They had no reason to face backlash, though of course they had no real reason to face backlash, but they did. Such was the nature of social media. Casey has stopped checking their profiles. Had to stop checking. Casey had stopped checking their main account. Had stopped checking the studio? No. Had stopped checking the Starling Games account. Mostly out of annoyance. People said the stupidest thing when they felt even the slightest bit of moral superiority. Casey sighed. She would have to put out a statement. She had been brainstorming it all day. She knew what she could say, just a page or 2. 200 words, maybe less. Brief was better for those kinds of things. And Casey had a knack for not sticking her foot in her mouth. If it had been up to Ava or Adrian, the statement would have been either too detached or too attached to the case. Somewhere in the middle was best, frank and brief. So I don't want people to feel as though this is happening in the past. She would have to put out another statement. Oh, Siska. I will say this is a very Siska-like moment, by the way, I will say. Casey was already drafting the words in her mind. There were a few things she had to say, bullet points she had to address. She was going to give people the bad news. They couldn't release a game so soon, not even a month after what happened. Queso. I'm gonna tell you right now. Fucking love cheese. Fucking love cheese. The news were just the beginning. And every time there was a break in the case, the two would be dragged out to the spotlight. Casey. What a mess, Casey sighed. She took her little pile of mail and took a step towards the pantry, meaning to grab a snack to munch on while writing the statement. But then a thought came to her. It was subtle, as though catching the smell of smoke on the back of her throat. The photo. The photo Ava had mentioned not so long ago. Ava had walked past it on the way up. Ava had walked past it on the way out of the basement. It never even crossed her mind to look. Oh, Froyo's good. Oh, Froyo's good. Oh, gotta love some Froyo. And now, pincered between the unfortunate reality of typing a statement about something that had nothing to do with their hard work, and yet was jeopardizing everything. That's not really what a pincered statement means. And now, pincered between the unfortunate reality of typing a statement, she didn't want to write about a thing that had nothing to do with their work and going on a wild goose chase. Well, Casey had her choice made for her. And really, it would only take a second. I will say, yeah, the pronouns of the characters in this book. You know what? Actually, here we go. Here we go. This is the easier part. Pictures, memory leak. All right. So the cast of the book. This is old art. Casey with a C, by the way. She, her. Ava, she, her, and Adrian. He, they. Here's some more in detail art. Adrian, little ghost earrings. Ava, hair dyed black and green. And Casey. Again, if you know, you know, right? And also, I did also drew a very gay picture of the three of them. Here we go. She will always be Cassie in my heart. That's fair. I'm okay with that. Cheese. Also, I did also do a muck cover of what the King Lear Switch edition would have looked like. Yeah. King Lear for the Nintendo Switch, rated R. Rated adults only. For the Switch too? Huh? Adrian looks more like Zeku now. Seku looks more like Adrian now. Incorrect. Adrian looked like this before Zeku went through his transformation, so, actually. Actually. I get you, no worries, you know. Yeah, as long as we keep trying to be better, that's all that matters. And really, it would only take a second. She couldn't help but think about that photo. Ava had acted so weird about it. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was something. Either way, Casey thought it was worth looking at. Worst came to worst, she would get to escape writing that statement for a few minutes more. For a second or two. Act 2, Scene 3. In a dark room, there's only a television screen. The glass is hot. You can feel it radiating from the device. You are leaning so close. The edges of the screen are the edges of your vision. All that you see is all that you feel. And what you feel right now is an overwhelming sense of nostalgia. Yes, it's all coming back to you. This is the way that things happened. This was the beginning of the end. The screen flickers from white to black. Then slowly the darkness fades as though a curtain rising. There, standing at the center of the frame, is a young person. Their eyes are sharp. They look into the camera, into your very eyes, and they linger there for a moment of silence. Their background is gloomy. There's a black mantle over a picture frame where there would have normally been fairy lights and a fluorescent sign entertaining the viewers during this video essay. Instead, there was only darkness. The sign and the lights were off. There was a texture to the walls, the texture of the stucco catching some of the colored light coming off of some device off screen. The young person, the host, the video essayist, is wearing a black button-up shirt. Their hair is messy. Their glasses are polished like mirrors. At times, the reflection of a myriad of screens can be seen on those glasses. Of a myriad screens. The look on their face is grim. They are unhappy. They were not hoping things would be this way. Ooh! They were not hoping things would be this way. At last, the silence comes to an end. The young person's voice pierces the silence. It stabs at your heart, at your nostalgia. You can't help but look at the background, at the photograph covered with the black curtain. As though this was all part of some funeral. Of some bizarre funeral. It's been a long journey, hasn't it? The words escape the young person's lips, almost like the final words of a person at last relinquishing the final breath of life. But this person is not yet dead. They are full of life and struggle. What began as a morbid obsession has now bloomed into this. Oh! Max from the past. Welcome back, Cade.
Hey, bud.
Max from the past wants me to fill in. Okay. What began as a morbid obsession has now bloomed into this. I mean, what if I just say Black Parade? What if I just say Black Parade? I mean, like, on one hand, I'm like, Black Parade is too on the nose, Max, but also at the same time, I don't know, man. I don't know, like, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of in the vibe. And you know, they are called Black Parades for a reason, so you know what? Welcome to the Black Parade. You got it. What began as a deep dive into a real-life case had now crossed into the final moments of the third act. Just when everything goes to hell. When I first started following this case, I just wanted to talk about one of my favorite games, and, well, the controversy around it. And the controversy around, well, everything. But somehow we've ended up here. The young person bites their lip. They have spent so much time working on this, following this story. It feels wrong to let it go in one final report, and yet they have to. They want to move on. At least they get to move on. In this, they realize their own privilege. This is still just a story. Even though they have talked with people close to the events, and has gotten to know them personally. This is still just a story to them. A story that happened to someone else, and yet it burns to know that soon, when the playhead arrives at the end of the red line, the story would finally be over. Red line. Representing this video's length? Representing this video's length. Maybe there will be something for them on the other side. This will be my last update on the case. The young person pushed their glasses up, causing the myriad of screens to be reflected there. Hundreds of thousands of eyes looked back at them, waiting with bated breath. If somehow you've been living under a rock, the pressure of their words are tangible, as though they could not believe this to be the case. Someone been living under a fucking rock. Break? You're gonna have to give me a minute, okay? Here's a quick summary of everything that's happened so far. We're about to start the good section. This is where you learn shit's fucked up. I love this section of the book. Okay, all right. All right, we're on break, fellas. I might get up and stretch and drink water and probably blow my nose. And while I'm doing that, you are welcome to ask me questions in chat. I will answer them to the best of my ability, and that's it. That's the plan. You know what to do. You know what I'm doing. Fucking let's go. All right. I'm up on my feet. I'm stretching. That feels good. I'm gonna draw circles with my hips as my good friend Chippy. Dale says, Maxi, which is your favorite My Chemical Romance song and why? I have a lot of favorites, but, you know, if you're asking me, like, you know, if you're asking me, like, literally what is my favorite, it's probably Na 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 Na, because that is the main theme for a book, one of the first books I started writing. I never finished that book yet, but I know that when time comes for me to revisit that book, I'm gonna listen to that song nonstop. Ima asks, how do you like your water? In the area that I live, water is relatively heavy, so we have to, like, filter it, but I'm a big fan of water. Look, dude, listen, you want to know what my favorite drink is? You know what I drink at the end of the day for dinner? Here you go, okay? I have a big, like, a big glass of water. I pour some apple cider vinegar, and I put, like, 3 ice cubes in it. That is the most refreshing fucking drink you can fucking make. And I know it sounds weird to be like, just put some apple cider vinegar. But I don't know. So I don't know, I forget who taught me that recipe for just, like, really refreshing water, but, like, straight up, it hits the spot. Kate asks, have you watched anything lately that you would recommend? So it's interesting, right? I mean, recently I watched Joker. I watched Joker 2 recently. And it brought me and my friends back to, like, the conversation of, like, you know, was Joker 1 a good movie? And I think Joker 1 and Joker 2, I think they're good films, but I don't think they're a good time. I don't think they're films you're supposed to enjoy watching, if that makes any sense. Would I recommend those? No. I would not recommend those at all. I would say, though, Beetlejuice, that was very good. I very much enjoyed that. I very much enjoyed Beetlejuice. That was fun. What's your favorite guilty pleasure song? So the thing is, now you've activated my trap card there, son. So the thing is that the concept of a guilty pleasure implies that one should feel guilty about liking things that are not popular, or things that are seen as a faux pas. And I'm telling you right now, I do not look at the world that way. I'm telling you right now, I don't care if people think my music taste is cringe. I don't care, but I straight up don't care. The value of what I love in my life is not measured by what other people think about the things I enjoy or like. So that is deep. No, it's actually quite shallow. It just means, you know, like, why should other people's, like, opinions matter to my own taste, right? So that being said, so just songs that I listen to for pleasure. I mean, like, I changed the loading sequence for this stream because I found a new remix of Chemical Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog, a game I've never played, but I do love the song Chemical Zone. The song Chemical Zone. The remix, which I can just literally just play for you in a minute. You know what? I'm gonna take you to the loading screen just so you can hear it, okay? That is Chemical Plant Funk by Gemma Haggis, I believe. Fucking dope as hell. This is a fucking good song. This is a good song. Anyways, you're gonna get to hear this later. For now, I'm gonna get back to the writing screen. And I'm gonna put the music back on. Not gonna lie, Maxi, your vinegar water is vile. How much vinegar did you put in there? Also, it has to be apple cider vinegar. Don't put, like... Did you just put, like, regular... I said apple cider vinegar. It makes your water taste like apple. Siska, did you put fucking, like, white vinegar. Also, apple cider vinegar. I put rubbing alcohol, duh. I mean, red wine vinegar might work. The shit I use for cooking, okay. No, they get yourself some apple cider vinegar, okay? I bet I'm 100% sure that they got apple cider vinegar in Germany, okay? Freaking, like, it sounds like something Germans would use, okay? Just put literally like a tablespoon on just a spoonful of it into your water, and put a couple ice cubes in there and fucking sip away. It's the most refreshing drink I've ever had. Also, apple cider vinegar comes with, you know, it has some probiotics in it, which helps with digestion and stuff like that. So it turns out it's also good for you. All right, enough talking about junk, fellas. Germans like their water spicy, that's true. Let me take a sip of water. Yeah, Siska gets it. The acidity adds some almost citrusy-like freshness. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I love it. I'm a big citrusy bitch, I will say. I love citrus. I have been known to just eat lemons. Why? Because I'm a crazy bitch, that's why.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, you know, if you're a fan of sour, if you're a fan of citrus, I recommend apple cider vinegar. 1 spoonful into a full glass of water. Again, it also just stays like straight up vinegar. It should not. Now, Sign is correct, actually. Some lemon juice into sparkling water. You also get to see a little bit of a science experiment, because the carbonation reacts to the citric acid and fucking things gets funny. Okay, can I, before we go back to work... Okay, stop the music. Before we go back to work, can we just take a second? I want to talk about something, okay? Fellas, welcome back to my TED Talk. I'm your host, I'm Kirin. So, this one time, I was hanging out with friends, and we were at one of those boutiques where they sell, like, you know, like face creams and body washes and all that other stuff, right? So, I couldn't break my friend's heart, but I'm sitting there, and this one friend, you know, is looking at this big row of like moisturizers and stuff, and this friend is like, dude, this stuff is not even good for you. And I'm like, I'm listening because I'm being polite, but I'm like, what the hell do you mean? It's basically oil and alcohol. That's what it is. That's what moisturizer is. It's oil and alcohol. And then my friend is like, look, and they show me the back of an ingredient label, and they said, and I quote, "This stuff is bad for you. Look, it has acid in it." And then they point towards the label where it says that it contains citric acid. Citric acid is also known as vitamin C, by the way, for anybody out there who's not aware of what citric acid is. Citric acid is vitamin C. Fella was saying, this shit's got acid in it. Motherfucker, I got news for you. Fucking citric acid is in everything. It's also good for you. I've been saving that anecdote for so long. Me for real, though? Desi. I've been saving that anecdote for so long. Like, I didn't have the heart to just tell them, buddy, that's vitamin C. Maxi, you're such a nerd? Why? Because I know citric acid is vitamin C? Oh, I'm still echoing. Thank you. Wow, talk about M. Kirin lives in a fucking echo chamber. If you had told me that, I would have just left. Because you felt that reaction. Yeah. I mean, like, listen. You know, people can be wrong. I never did tell them they were wrong about that. But I also haven't hung out with them since, so... Yo, my wife is here! Hi, wifey! It's my wife! Dude, again, you know, friend being like, dude, this thing has acid in it, it's bad for you. Meanwhile, I'm like, let's put some more apple cider vinegar. Literally fucking acid in my cup of water before dinner. Delicious. The most refreshing drink I've ever tasted. Listen, man, all I want to say is that when things are sour, they're better, okay? First they're sweet, then they're sour. You know their pH is messed up? Oh my god, Kate. Oh my god, you remember who I'm... Oh my god, Kitty, shut the fuck up, Kitty. How do you know who it was just from those 2 bits? Kitty, shut up. Yeah, they're NB now, so, you know. Kitty remembers, yeah. Kitty was in the room, by the way, when that happened. And we looked at each other, and then I was like... I telepathically told Kitty, that's citric acid, baby. That's vitamin C. Can we go back to editing? You got it, Siska. 25 minutes on the clock. Get set, go. The young person pushed their glasses up. Oh, you know, we're here. The screen cuts away, showing glimpses of previous videos. Countless backgrounds, outfit changes, even the passing of time can be tracked by the way the young person's hair grows, gets cut, and grows again over the course of what felt like decades. But it wasn't decades. It may feel like that, but it was just 6 months. That's how long it took for the dominoes to fall. In between flashes of memory and sound, the amalgam of young persons relay history in the making. Yeah. Each young person is wholly unaware that they are a part of a bigger story, a fragment of a person unaware that they would become a digital ghost. This orchestra of phantoms relays the following story. Though, you already know the beats. A young person struggling with mental health found themselves sinking deeper, farther than they expected. Many like to accrue this change to the world around them, the news, the state of political unrest. Some like their scapegoat to be a simpler one. At first, people wanted to blame the game. A younger version of the host said, looking straight at the camera. Their hair was longer then. It nearly touched their shoulders. Yo, hi Noms! Good morning!
Hey, bud.
As a fan of Starling Games, I felt this need to defend them. Defend the way they choose to make art. Yes, their games are dark in tone, morbid even, but they are no different than other games. There was a missing piece. This explanation was meant to be interrupted by another shot, another splice of another video, one that came months later. Sadly, the young person decided against having this in their final edit. But you know what it is. You know what it is. You can see it in your mind's eye. The young person, hair cut short, dressed in black as though attending a funeral, eye bags and darkness around their eyes. Although I love these games, I recognize that maybe... sometimes... maybe... they let out a pained groan. As though... it hurt them to say what they really meant. Sometimes they go too far. Maybe they went too far with King Lear. Maybe they shouldn't have gone as far as they did. I mean, the coronation scene was just too much. Maybe they went too far with King Lear. I liked the game. I think I'm still defending it, even now, but it's not the same. They went far. They went too far. The coronation scene was just too much. Like, people are talking about King Lear the way Plague talks about Terrifier. That's what's happening. Fun fact, Kitty found... Kitty, let's just say Kitty got her hands on Terrifier 2 and 3. And was like, dude, we should watch these. And Plague literally, like, broke character. He broke kayfabe, for anybody out there who knows what that means. Plague, my good friend and younger brother, broke kayfabe and said, guys, Terrifier is too gory. You're not gonna like it. But no one else saw it. Only you. Only you know. Only you recognize the missing beat in the explanation. The punchline. No. You see its absence the same way that a person might recognize a tingling sensation where they no longer had a limb. Yeah, Plague is my younger brother. Nomi, are you just finding this out right now? No worries, no worries. Running around being like, take aggro, help. Yeah, I know, yeah, but Plague is younger than me. Not that much younger, but you know. It's funny because he's taller than me. Like, I give little sibling energy, I'm middle sibling energy. See, Nomiya, I'm sorry. I say the following brings me no joy, okay? Nomiya, you're an only child. How would you know what little sibling energy is? I'm sorry, that was mean. That was mean. That was mean. That was too mean. I'm sorry. I'm bonking myself. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. I'm sorry. Stand back, Nomiya. I got us, says Ronnie. Kate says, y'all guess if I'm the oldest, mid, or youngest sibling. Cade? Again, I know the answer, but Cade absolutely gives oldest sibling. Cade has everything in control. Cade knows what it's like to herd cats. Yeah, see, Kitty says it's true, I'm basically an only child and I can't tell.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But no one else saw it. You see its absence the same way that a person might recognize a tingling sensation. No, the same way a person feels a tingling sensation where they no longer had a limb. I feel like this is a stronger way. Herd! H-E-R-D! Herd cats! Not hurt cats. Now, the only person herding cats here is Siska, because Siska's throwing the cats into the bog. That a person feels... You see its absence the same way that a person feels a tingling sensation in the spot. Feels a tingling sensation in their missing limb. This phantom pain was one of many. This explanation, this final video essay went through so many changes. It was a torture of its own. Another version of the young host, staring into the screen, repeated the words they had read on the official police report. 5 bodies were found at the... Just put residence, Max. 5 bodies were found at the residence, 2 adults, the parents, and 3 children, ages 12, 16, and 18. Wait! Hold up! How many people died in the, Oh my god, what's the original ghost house? Dude! Theme stacking! Theme stacking is happening right now! Okay, a ghost house where murders happened, the first one. What is the name of that? Haunting of Hill House? No. What is the name of that house? Kitty, what is the name of the first big haunted house? I mentioned that earlier in the book. It would be funny if the same number of people... No, it's not Winchester. Nobody died in the Winchester house. Haunted houses. Movies. I'll find it. It's gonna be the first one. Amity Hill? Amityville! There you go, the Amityville horror. There we go. How many people died in that house? Amityville murders. How many people died in this house? How many murders were you convicted of? 6 people? Jesus! The victims were father, mother, and 4 siblings. Okay. Does it count as murder if it was a ghost? Kitty, that's how the house got haunted. Allegedly. Thank you! Oh my god, Kate, I misread your comment. I thought Kate was saying that the Winchester Mystery House was actually supernatural. No, the Winchester house is just a normal-ass house. Literally, the Winchester lady was just fucking eccentric as hell. She also, as Kate says, she treated her workers incredibly well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the 7th victim? Wait, no, I did say 6, huh? Okay, 6 victims. Okay, perfect. 6 bodies. 6 bodies were found at the residence. 2 adults, the parents, and 4 children. Ages, I guess I could have them sync up, huh? 18, 13, 12, and 9. Why not? 18, 13, 12, and 9. Why not? Theme stacking, baby. You're perfectly, you know, Cade, I trust you, okay? The 2 parents, 2 adults, the parents, and 4 children. Ages 18, fucking 13, 12, and 9. Now, the only difference is that these are not gun wounds, these are actually knife wounds. All but 1 had died because of stabbing wounds. The injuries on the injuries on the 18-year-old appear to be self-inflicted. The video cuts to the young person. Their expression is cold, as though speaking about one of countless cases. This wasn't their first time talking about murder, let alone talking about death. That was the entire point of their career. Somehow along the road of life, that ended up as someone who talked about messed up stuff like this. People who took the life of their entire family. People who wanted to hurt others. People who were filled with so much anger and sometimes despair that their only way to cope was to expel this fury outwards at someone other than themselves. These real-life tragedies, real life with the hyphen, by the way, ended just like the Greek classics, with no one but the narrator left standing at the end. The video cuts again. Maxi's shocked by what they're reading. Yep. Katie's reinstalling Cultist Sim. I'm sorry. That's my fault. The video cuts again. The young person is disheveled. It is late at night. Their hair is poking on ends. There is little light in their set. Their living room turned recording studio. They look as though they hadn't slept in weeks. So, I know we were expecting this, but the police recently, I think it was on Tuesday, they announced that they had uncovered a lot of information about a pus, as though resisting the urge to tear off a freshly dried scab. About the culprit, and it's pretty much what we thought the police would do. They're really going for an angle? All about the murders being the game's fault. I've basically blocked all conversations about about the election. I banned them on YouTube. I banned them on Twitter. I can't handle it. That being said, if you can vote in the United States, please remember to register because they're taking people off of the register rolls. But other than that, you know, stay strong. You know, as Kate says, if you're in the US, please check your registration status. And that's it. I sneeze, but guess what? You don't get to hear that. You know, Kate makes a really good point. I'm gonna stop and say, by the way, don't forget to also vote on local things. Turns out, you know, if you're like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that thing in my local area. Yeah, did you vote on that? Did you vote on that? Because that's how things get passed, brother. Anyways, a series of images flashed on the screen. Pictures of the crime scene leaked onto the internet. Pictures of the young woman who hated her family so much that she felt there was only one thing left for her to do. There were pictures of her room, posters and merch of a certain game franchise, a small little game-known studio, a letter they had gotten from one of the devs, framed and hanging right above her desk, pictures of her computer, list of files, the incredibly rare and weird idea of a Steam profile being shown on daytime television, on primetime. I will say, when I wrote this, I thought it would be really, really weird if a Steam profile appeared on the news as part of a murder investigation. Yeah, well, it turns out not really that rare, but anyways. Of course she had done what she did. She played those games for hundreds of hours. Those evil, messed up video games had corrupted her brain. It was just another satanic panic, said a young version of the host, their clothes clean, ironed, their glasses sparkling. But maybe there was something to it, said an older version of the host, their clothes torn up, messy, stained, their glasses removed from their face. This college of hosts melded as the images continued to fly across the screen. It was like some strange kind of holographic card. Depending on the angle you viewed it through, you would see a different host. Young and bright, excited to talk about something they were passionate about. Older, jaded, tired of covering the same sad case. The same tired, sad story. Tired of defending the game they held so dear, especially against the mounting evidence. And then, back to darkness. The montage is over. We return to the present, or at least a point of the present before it was captured on tape, before it was logged into digital data, and edited into a video. For millions to see. By now, you all know my thoughts on this. I've made nearly 31 videos on this case. I've interviewed members of the family. I think I know as much as anyone can without having been there, in that room. And I don't know what to say. The young person removed their glasses. The microphone captures the sound of them. Oh, it removes their glasses, of them touching the wooden desk. When they speak next, the host's voice is quiet, exhausted. I just want to talk about this game. I just wanted to talk about this game I liked, but I can't help but admit that maybe some of the things in it push this poor girl to do something she might not have done otherwise. And I know people won't like it. And I know people won't like to hear that. Don't like to hear that. Just don't like to hear that. You're probably going to stop watching. I have the analytics. Every time I say this, the viewership just drops. But I'm not doing this for the views. I want to get this off my chest. The young person takes a deep breath, drawing it in slowly, as though waking up from a long nightmare. I believe games are art, but I recognize that maybe Starling Games, maybe my favorite studio, has gone too far. My favorite studio? I mean, the fact that it's been months and they haven't said anything is troubling. Their social media is silent, they haven't updated any of their accounts or blogs, or even pushed any updates on their older games. It's been half a year and nothing. A part of me worries that maybe they're just waiting until this dies down, which It breaks my heart. But then again, maybe they've called it quits. The young person stammers. Their words fail them. They blink their eyes rapidly, as though trying to catch a glimpse of something flying by. A realization swooping across the sky of nostalgia. If I were in their shoes, I don't think I would keep making the games. At least, I would make some serious changes, but we don't know. I reached out to them for a word. A lot of people have. Even people in the industry. But they have yet to break their silence. The music in the background begins to quiet down. Just now, you realize there has been music playing the whole time. It was the music from King Lear. The track composed by Casey. What's Casey's goddamn name? What's Casey's goddamn last name? Good, good. I'm happy you're getting an emotional reaction. That's good. Where did I put it? Outline? Revision? Checklist? Casey Miller. Miller or Baker? Fellas, Miller or Baker? Miller or Baker? Call it now. Maxi, yes, Nomia? Baker, Miller? Okay, so far the voting is going great. Yes, Nomia Vikshi? Baker, 2 votes for Baker, 3 votes for Baker. Does her family make flour or is it, or use it as the question? Or use it is the question. Oh, no, yeah. Is Casey's last name Baker? Read my last comment. Oh my god. Maxi. No, I read the comment. I know it's called a lenticular effect, but I feel like calling it a likening it to a holographic card makes more sense for someone who doesn't know what a lenticular mint is. You know what? Sam makes a good point. Miller reminds me of the band. Maxi, please pay more attention to Nomia. Yo, good night, Anti-Air. Have a lovely rest of your night. Get lots of rest, and I hope the cats cuddle up with you if you enjoy cats cuddling up on you. Nonetheless, take care. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye. The last name is Baker. I will say, Miller has like IL, just like Eva's last name is Sylvia. So I think, you know what? So my thing is this. Nomia says, if you call it lenticular and then describe what it is, I could just describe what it is and people will know what that is. Everyone knows what a holographic card is. Oh, where was I? It is Baker. Casey Baker. The track is composed by Casey Baker. It was the melancholic ending sequence that played during the true and final ending, where all the worst nightmares of the protagonist were realized. Against the backdrop of a young person making a video, the music seemed a little overdramatic, and yet the choice was right. As it began to fade, as the fanfare began to die down, a vessel in the music was filled. The young person standing in the middle of frame fit perfectly against the music. Someone in a bad situation, forced to put an end to everything. I hope they haven't quit. I hope this isn't the end of Starling Games. Then the lights go off, then it's just you and the darkness of this room. Alright. How much do we have left? Alright, you know what? I'm calling it. Alright, I can take all... Can I look at my babies? There we go, there they are. Oh, they're so happy. They're so happy before everything gets fucked up. Before everything gets so bad and fucked up. Where's Nana? Where's Nana? Let me go find Nana. If I were Nana, where would I put Nana? Nana. Come here, Nana. I'm looking... Yo, remember when I did this thumbnail for Nomia? That's a good thumbnail. Where did I put all those thumbnails? Did I not put them in the list? I hope. I might just be missing it entirely. There she is. There you go. There's Nana. I might give her a different hairstyle, but I do love, by the way, again, I think this was Kendra's idea. Girl boss, gaslight, gatekeep. That's good. That's good. And with that, fellas, we are done for today. Thank you for joining me for the part of the stream where we do editing. We're going to be doing dailies today, also known as games you can only play today. Let me change the vibes of the room, by the way. Maybe bump it up a little bit. So, let's fast forward through this. Let's go. By the way, once again, if you haven't already, leave a like on the stream and consider supporting me by going to coffee.com/mkirin. Instead of ads, I give you these ads instead. Anyways, so welcome to Quirtle, where we do 4 Wordles at once, because it's the only way I can feel anything anymore. Rogue followed by Satin is my opener. So we're looking on the top left position. We have ROTU. So, tutor? No, because the U doesn't go there. Alright, what else do we have? We have RAGE. We have Rage against the machine. Maybe it's Arch? Barch? Barch, baby! Let's go!
Bingo!
You thinking top is water? It might be water. It was not water, by the way. So, ATER. It could be matter. It could be later. It could be dater. Let's try later. It's not later. It's not later, by the way. It could be cater. Let's try cater. It's not cater. We're dying, by the way. We're dying here. We have 3 guesses left. So let me go back to we gotta do something. What about this one over here? It's O. We know it's an E and an N. Oxen? Hater? What if it's hater? It was hater! Yo, thank you, Desi.
Bingo!
Shoutouts to Desi, by the way. Thank you. Yo, okay. We spent so many guesses on this one here. I don't know if we're gonna make it, fellas. They all said it first. All right. Okay. All right. Shoutouts to Dale. Shoutouts to Dale. Shoutouts to Dale. Shoutouts to Dale. All right. Where the hell am I? I'm expecting there to be like. It's not open. Voxen? Oxen? No. Alright, what else do we have here? All of us were right. Donkey, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. So what if it's TR? It's Trout! Yeah!
Bingo!
Okay, alright, so fellas, all we have left now. We have 1 guess. Token? No T. So it's something O-N. It's O-N. The sound is O-N. Mopen. Moden. Poden. Foden. Voxen? You think it's Voxen? Coven! No, it's not Coven because there's no C. That's not a bad guess though. Copen, no C, fellas. What about Dopen? When you make things even doper. There is no R. No C's, no R's, fellas. It could be. I mean, you think it's Mopen? No. Isn't. Ooh, dozen. No, dozen. You know what? I'm gonna go with dozen. It was dozen. Dozen? A dozen? A dozen? A dozen?
Bingo!
Alright, good job, fellas. Welcome back to Guess the Game, where we guess the game by guessing the game. This is an old-ass game. This is Asteroids. No, this is Space Invaders. This is Space Invaders, the original. Okay, no, this is Geometry Wars. Geometry Wars Retro Evolve. You got it. There you go. There you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh, we have a bunch we haven't done. Holy crap. What game is this? Is this Diablo 5? Or Diablo... Is this Diablo 4? The angle tells me that this is a Diablo game. It is not Diablo. The isometric nature of the game tells me that this is some sort of looty shooty game. And it's not any Diablo. Is it Path of X... Wait. Is it Weird West? No. It could be Wasteland. Wasteland 3. No. Wait, hold up. Is this Last Epoch? Is Last Epoch on here? No. In 2016. Torch of the Flood in the Flood? No way. This is a game where you beat up guys. Is this Path of Exile? No. Dude, what game is this? I know it's a looter shooter. I know it's a looter shooter. Dude, I literally named every single looter shooter that I know. It was Grim Dawn. I was not gonna guess Grim Dawn. I thought the UI for Grim Dawn looked different. That's the Warhammer 40k one, isn't it? Alright, so what game is this? This looks like Leisure Suit Larry. This is Leisure Suit Larry 1.
Bingo!
I looked at this MFer down here in the corner. Everything looks like League of Legends to me. You're not wrong, Disney. I looked at that MFer and I'm like, this is Leisure Suit Larry. This is a game about a guy who wants to get laid. This is I recognize this. Maxi, how do you know Leisure Suit Larry? No comment, Your Honor. This is a scrolling game. This could be like Ori and the Blind Forest. No, this is an artsy game. Is this To the Moon, the episodic version of that? No. Not Ori is not colorful enough. Oh, it's the second Oxenfree. It's Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals. Okay, there you go. I see this triangle. I see that glow. I know that's Oxenfree, baby. Yep. I would recognize that glow anywhere. So this here, this is Dead or Alive, because that's the ninja girl. This is not Ninja Gaiden. This is Dead or Alive. This is Dead or Alive. I would recognize this girl anytime. Let's go with Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore.
Bingo!
That is Dead or Alive. It's true. Yep. Yeah, there's Kasumi. Age? Who knows? Height? 5 feet 2 inches. Class? Ninja. There you go. Now, Siska says if you think about it, Dead or Alive is a pretty vague title. It is. Alright, hold up. Is that Godzilla? Go ahead, Godzilla. Give the people what they want. Destroy the Supreme Court. Godzilla for what? Kaiju or Godzilla? Oh, this is SimCity. Never mind. It's SimCity. This is the original SimCity. It's not SimCity? Are you sure it's not SimCity? Oh. Sorry, I typed Sin City. I typed the city of Sin instead. Yeah, so in the original SimCity, you could activate disasters like tornadoes, hurricanes, and UFO attacks, and of course Godzilla showing up. And that's all of the guess the games. Welcome to Pokedoku, where we guess a game by guessing a game. I'm kidding. This is a Sudoku, but it's backwards and it's with Pokemon. A Galarian ghost. One of the T was Poltergeist. Huh? Oh, that's poison. Okay, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. A legendary from Galar, Samacenta. Maxi, I know. Okay, this one was my dyslexia, okay? Don't make fun of me. If you make fun of me, that's ableist, okay? Listen. A poison from Galar, don't you mean, wheezing? A steel from Galar, don't you mean, Corviknight? Don't you mean, Corviknight? A Pokemon whose ghost poison, I don't want to talk about it. Dragon poison, that is the little, algae one. Dragalge. There you go. A legendary ghost Pokemon, don't you mean, I think this has to be, Eternatus. Isn't Eternatus ghost? Oh, Ghost Poison is the Gengar line. Okay, you make a fair point there, Nomi Vikshi. A legendary dragon. What about Zekrom? A ghost steel Pokemon. You mean Aegislash? And Steel Dragon. Don't you mean the aluminum one? What's the name of the Pokemon? Duraludon! There we go. Alright, I missed one, so what? The answer, by the way, was Giratina, Lunala, or Spectrier. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now, welcome to Game Duel, where we guess games by guessing the games by guessing the games. Can I guess a game by looking at the cover of a game? Yes, this is Bible Adventures for the SNES. This is Age of Empires, the original. It's not. That's a skeleton man in the background. This is old. This is old. Who are you? This like a vampire? Wait a minute. Is this Castlevania Bloodlines? No, Castlevania. They don't even have Bloodlines on here. Dude. Skeleton Warriors? Dude, could you imagine? This is Castlevania, the one for the Sega Genesis. Am I dumb? Fellas, I'm looking at this and I don't know how this isn't. Oh, okay, never mind. What is the name? This is a game based on a film. What is the name of that film? It has a W in it. Fella, I'm waiting for someone in chat to just tell me what the name of that movie is. It has this actor in it. It's like Willow, thank you. It's Willow, thank you. Now Capcom brings the smash hit movie to the arcade screen. WILLOW. Can I guess a game by looking at the artwork? What is this artwork? Is this Among Us? It's not. This looks like a guy who's getting absolutely destroyed. Wait, is this Magica? It's not Magica. This is just a big old guy, huh? It's a big old insect guy. Griftlands? It could be Griftlands, actually. Who are you? Who are you? I don't know who you are. Straight up. Who is you know what? You know what? It was Castle Crashers. I wouldn't know. Can I guess a game based on keywords, by the way? The keywords are mechanic, tank, camping, realism, and sniping. I'm gonna have to assume this is one of those probably Battlefield. Oh, although TF2, I'll put Team Fortress 2, why not? Communism, mercenary, camouflage, no blood, kill feed, gold rush. This is a Battlefield game. This is Battlefield 1942. Okay, it's a Battlefield game. It's Battlefield Let's go with Battlefield 1. Yeah, see you later, Ema. Battlefield. Well, communism. Bad Company. It was Bad Company. All right. And now for the last one. Can I guess a game by guessing the game? By guessing the game. Also, by the way, my good friend Ronnie, I think Ronnie's streaming today, as is Nomia, by the way. Is Ronnie streaming today? They are, dude! Piss stream! Piss stream! That's Stranding happening literally in 4 minutes. Please check out my good friend Ronnie is streaming in 4 minutes. My good friend Nomia has a stream happening today for members only. Consider checking it out. And for now, I have 4 minutes to guess the game by guessing the game. I always open with Mighty Number 9. So we're looking at a video game from before 2016. It is some of these things. It is not side view. It is not by concept, Deep Silver, Indie Creates. It is not science fiction. It could be a shooter and a platformer. Give me a platformer from before 2016. I'm thinking of a single player game from before 2016. I'm thinking of a platformer. I'm thinking of a New Super Mario Brothers. It is a game with single player, multiplayer, and cooperative. I don't know if Super Meat Boy has that. It is a it's probably an adventure game. It's not Nintendo. We need to scout the big developers. So a single player, multiplayer, cooperative game that is... I love that Nintendo has no themes, by the way. There's no themes for this game. So we want science fiction. Not science fiction. A fantasy game that's not side view then. A fantasy game... I mean, it might just be like a multiplayer game. Oh, the single player is weird. Not a lot of games have single player, I'm not gonna lie. Let me think. Is Ronnie... Wait. Ronnie, it says you're playing Metaphor Refantasio, by the way. Never mind. Don't talk to me. It could be a Monster Hunter. Let's go with Monster Hunter. Well, it's on the Wii, though. Monster Hunter 2 for the PS2. I guess... That game has co-op, although I guess it's not what you would call co-op, huh? A third-person platformer? So, okay, a lot of games that have multiplayer don't have a single-player component to them, Nomia Vikshi. A platforming game? A platforming game in third person? And it isn't a Mario. And it's potentially in the PS3. From this time? It's not Braid. It's not Braid. Fuck it, is it Super Meat Boy? It is not side view. We know that. It's not comedy. It could be indie. It's in a bunch of things. Super Meat Boy didn't have any multiplayer? Damn. Okay, so I'm thinking. We have like no... It's not third person, it's not side view. It must be a first person? A first person game? With multiplayer and cooperative? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna name a game from the big studios. Maybe it's Assassin's Creed, like... Portal? You know what? I'm willing to try Portal, actually. It's not... Wait! It's not first person, side view, or third person. Huh? It's not first person, side view, or third person. It's isometric. Okay, it's an isometric game. It could be Diablo. It could be Diablo 3. So it's isometric bird view. It's not Diablo 3. So it's between 2013 and 2015. It's a MOBA. It could be a MOBA. Give me one hint. I need one hint, please. 2014. That did not help. An isometric game with single player, multiplayer, and cooperative from 2014. MOBAs don't have single player campaigns. That's the problem. Heroes of the Storm. Like 2 years before Overwatch? No, we know it's not Blizzard. I'm wrong. We know it's not Blizzard. I mean, I thought maybe it had like a single player mode. Is this Command and Conquer? Command and Conquer 4? Command and Conquer. They don't even have 3 Tiberium Wars. It is not. Is it just Is it just? It's StarCraft 2, isn't it? It's StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2. Wings of Liberty. It was Hero Siege. I was never gonna guess this game. All right, fellas. My good friend Ronnie should be live. My good friend Ronnie should be live right now. If you would like to check out the stream, please consider doing so. Ronnie's so cute. Ronnie's so cute. I'm gonna give him a few of these, and then I'm gonna go get my freebie on Ronnie's chat. I would like to get my daily treat, please. All right, I got a donut, dude. Also, I pressed May's button by mistake. Hey, May, how you doing? Anyway, so please go check out Ronnie's stream. And with that, I'm gonna just take a little look at the movie to movie. I'm okay. I don't want to do that movie to movie. So thank you for coming to my writing creative stream. Here's the schedule for the week, by the way. Boop, 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 boop. Did I delete the schedule already? No, you didn't. Maxi, you didn't. Maxi, did you delete the schedule for this week? All right, here's an even quicker version of the schedule then. Let me go freaking grab it from the stream schedule. Did I not even post it on Discord? Oh my god, I didn't post it on Discord. This is a disaster. This is a disaster, by the way. Alright, I'm gonna go to the Forbidden website. I'm gonna go to the Forbidden website, to my profile. There you go. Here we go. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be on Nomiya Vixi's channel. I'm gonna be coaching them through Dark Souls. We're in Anne Orlando. The day after that, on Thursday, I am playing Elden Ring co-op with Plixworth and Siska, my little bro and my little sis from Germany. On Friday, I'm playing Bloodborne. That's right, this is a FromSoft channel, I guess. And on Saturday, we're continuing our spooky Halloween streams with Silent Hill 2 Episode 2. And if everything goes according to plan, we'll play Monster Hunter with Nomiya on Sunday. And with that, I'm gonna get out of here. Please go check out Ronnie's stream and Nomiya's stream later today. I love my friends. Please consider checking them out. And with that, I'm gonna get out of here. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Beep boop. Hi there. Welcome. You have made it to the secret ending of today's stream. Leave a comment on this VOD with the following secret keyword so that everyone knows you watched until the end. The keyword is holographic. Leave a comment with the word holographic in the VOD of this video, and I'll see you all later. I'll give you a little heart. Take care. Bye-bye. Beep boop.